Afternoon, everybody. I'm Matt Judge. I'm the Assistant Director of Athletic Communications here at Swarthmore College, and today I'm joined by Tobin Adams. Tobin, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How's it going?
It's going great. I mean, it's definitely a different time right now, so trying to roll with all the punches that we have. So Tobin, you're in your first year at Swarthmore College as the Assistant Athletic Director for Internal Operations. Can you explain to us what you do for the department?
Sure. So I would say everything that Adam doesn't want to do, but I guess I will start there. So pretty much managing all of our athletic facilities, from our fields to our courts to our indoor facilities. Also just being a liaison with facilities, folks, our EVS team, organizing and managing schedules for all of our varsity programs is another thing that falls under my umbrella. Managing outside use and contracts that come in for external groups who want to rent our facilities. And then the bulk with working with students is managing that game day schedule. So we use student workers for most of our games, if not all of them, and just managing their lives outside of obviously their academic schedule, and some of them being athletes, so practice schedules. Obviously, our students are engaged in other things on campus, so managing around those schedules as well. It becomes a fun time trying to piece the puzzle together to get students to work our game day operations. But it's been a blast my first year, and I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's definitely you love doing all the scheduling, and I can say that it's crossover season is always a complicated time where you have student athletes at certain sports that love to help out, but then it just turns into a difficult time to get staffing. But I think this first year, it's my first year at Swarthmore, and it has been a great ride so far. And like you mentioned, we worked all these games, and then you were also ran as the tournament director for the NCAA basketball tournament, the Centennial Conference men's basketball tournament, and you also helped out with the men's soccer tournament. Can you explain exactly what you did during that time?
Sure. It was kind of a thrown to the fire, a thrown to the wolves, if you will, for the NCAA basketball and Centennial Conference. But it was a challenge that I welcome for sure. From the logistics of bringing teams in, getting them lodging, from meeting with the officials and making sure they're, whatever information they needed was given to them. Booking space for meetings, making sure the tournament kind of is successful, logistics with public safety, making sure folks can get in and out of spaces securely. So it was definitely a challenge, and I definitely, again, it was a welcome challenge, but it was a first time for everything, and definitely I learned a lot in the process. And going forward, we'll definitely make more Centennial Conference championships, and hopefully we'll be in the NCAA tournament again. And I look forward to my next go round if I'm fortunate to be the tournament director.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like you said, we learned a lot of things, and the crowds they're sell-off crowds for
Oh yeah, for sure.
which is
Crowd management was definitely stressful for at one point. Yeah, but it was cool.
Yeah, and it definitely shows the up and up that Swarthmore Athletics has going on right now. And it's a great thing going on for the college. And can you talked about what you do at Swarthmore. Can you talk about how you arrived at Swarthmore College?
Sure. So I think my journey is a little bit interesting. So I started within recreation, really through undergrad. So I started as like an official reffing basketball games and flag football games. And I was like, well, wait, this can be a career. Not technically reffing, but within athletics and rec. So I had an opportunity at Widener. So I spent a year and a half at Widener working in rec, and I really enjoyed it, just kind of learning the ins and outs, learning the fitness equipment and learning the facility and how that runs, and learning how to just do college programming or university programming. And that was just a blast for me, which kind of propelled me to my next opportunity at Arcadia, which I spent about 2.5, close to 3 years there. I actually came in working as a coordinator of athletic facilities as well as recreation. So that was kind of like my dip in the toe for large scale athletic Division III. Definitely game day management, setting up fields and courts and anything you could set up. We set it up there at Arcadia. And it was a blast there. Again, it was a great opportunity, a learning experience for me. Just understanding, what Division III athletics looks like and how many hats you have to wear when you're working in D3 athletics. So definitely a blast learning experience, which kind of propelled me here to Swarthmore. So this is my third stop to my journey as the assistant athletic director of internal ops. And it's been, as we talked about already, it's been a blast just kind of feet to the fire and just kind of grinding things out and figuring things out as we go and just growing a program to make the most successful program for our student athletes.
Yeah, you definitely wear a lot of hats at the Division III level, and you've been doing a great job thus far at Swarthmore. I mean, we work hand in hand pretty much in everything, so
Yeah,
it's
for
great.
sure. Yes, definitely D3. I think it's like none other. Which I like that about D3 because you're able to learn so much more. I think instead of just kind of uh, focusing on one area, you kind of be able to dip your toe in and give your input in a lot of different things. Some things that you probably have no idea about, but sure, why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah, it's exactly like dipping your toes in is what you said. When we have game operations from the athletic communications side of things, we're always looking for PA announcers, play-by-play announcers, and our athletic director has helped out. Adam Hertz has helped out a lot in being a PA announcer or a play-by-play announcer. But he also has one thing that he mentioned in a recent interview that you and him have in common, and that's being a
Yeah.
Can you talk about your time as a DJ? And then I have a follow-up question.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I started my DJing in my undergrad. It was literally let me search on YouTube and Google some things, and I bought my first set of turntables, which were like CD drive, some cheap pair of things, and then I just was in my dorm room, probably disturbing my roommate, but I had music blaring and I was mixing things together that I liked, and it kind of propelled me into do some more research and buy some more equipment. So um, little do I know, I became a DJ on the side. So long story short, in our car ride with Adam and you, Matt, Adam and I were just going back and forth on some playlists that he suggested some playlists that we listened to on the way back. It was on the way there. I think it was Michael Jackson, and Michael Jackson turned into playing Lionel Richie and other stuff. And it was just like, oh, let's get some Motown. So we got to the Motown music, and I think we found our niche on the way back. So we were grooving to some Motown greats, and Adam was in the backseat just singing away, and I was tuning away, trying to hit the high notes. It was a good ride. Matt was probably looking at us like we're crazy, but hey, it was having a good time.
It was a good time. I wasn't looking at you guys like you were crazy. It was an interesting conversation, which actually goes to my next follow-up question. You had a list of do not plays. That was just things that you thought were overplayed. What is your list of music that it must be on the must-play list?
Yeah, well, I would say must playlist would definitely include the Cha-Cha Slide, probably the Wobble, which is line dance music. I always like Montel Jordan, This Is How We Do It. That always kind of gets the party going. And then also, I think the ultimate playlist or the ultimate you must have song is Celebration. Celebrate good times. That one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's good to know when we need a DJ for any of our events or
Yeah,
sports.
me and Adam can set up a turntable and we'll battle it out between us.
It might be a halftime show. You never know.
Yeah, how about that?
So to another kind of a little bit of a different topic. We're both major sports fans, and this was another conversation that we constantly have, especially in the fall.
Hmm.
You know exactly where I'm going with this.
Oh,
Is
sure, sure.
you root for Philly sports teams, except for one. What is that team that you don't root for, and why?
Well, well, in the fall semester, of course, I root for Swarthmore men's soccer, Swarthmore women's soccer,
Oh yeah, of course.
volleyball, field hockey, track and field.
Yeah, and you get
But
all the yeah, you
since
got
we
the
don't have a since we don't have a football team, um, I choose the Dallas Cowboys, and I get so much heat from it. I don't know you Philly guys just don't like it, but yeah, I'm a Dallas Cowboy, proud Dallas Cowboy fan. I
disappointed.
know, Matt. I know it is disappointing to hear, but um, I like the Cowboys, and I got posters up in the office, and every time you guys come in, I want to give you a highlight of what the Dallas Cowboys have done. So yeah.
Well, it's been some time since they've done anything, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, it's been rough. We have a mediocre couple years, but I think with the draft picks we made this year, and we got to get Dak signed to a contract. But I think after that, we'll be good this year. Don't worry. I think we'll win the division for all you Eagles fans.
Yeah, that's what you said when we were setting up this interview, and I didn't know if I wanted to talk to you during this interview. We'll see. I mean,
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
only time will tell, because who knows what's going to happen with the NFL season this year, and
Yeah.
it's something that we're in unprecedented times. And how have you and your family been keeping busy?
Yeah, so I'm grateful to say that my wife has taken on the role of the principal and teacher for the most part. I've been delegated to the music teacher and gym teacher. I think I felt my role pretty well. Sometimes I'm the cafeteria guy as well. So I get the lunch prepared. We have some fun in the backyard. We listen to some music and do some karaoke's. That's kind of my music class. But yeah, otherwise, it's definitely, like you said, uncharted waters. So kind of being a homeschool parent it's been a challenge. Trying to find stuff for my daughter to do throughout the day is always a challenge, giving her different projects, whether that be painting or making up little bird houses, whatever we can find to do. And then for me, it's just when I do have some time to myself, I've just been doing yard work, just kind of replanted my front yard and planted some flowers, and yeah, so it's
You
kind
should
of been my
be going
focus.
everywhere.
I know. It's just yeah. So it's been fun, but it's definitely different. And I welcome to going back to our new norm, whatever that's going to be, for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting new norm whenever that time comes. But um, have you binge watched any TV shows or any movies that you would
Um,
suggest to anybody?
so there's a Netflix series, Atypical, that I've been watching. I've been watched that. I think it was 3 or 4 seasons now that I got through. So that's been a hit for me. I've been on the Last Dance Michael Jordan
Oh
thing
yeah,
for the last few weeks. So
yeah.
I am kind of like, I never was a Michael Jordan fan, but now I'm kind of like seeing why he's the GOAT. So that's been a fun watch. And then just really, I can't help but watch Sports Center, even though there's not sports going on. I just kind of see what they're talking about, and kind of looking at flashback on all the senior athletes of the year, and seeing those pictures and those moments, I think are pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely something nice to look back at, and I would agree with you on the whole Last Dance. I've watched all, but I think the last episode last night, and I'm caught up on
Hmm.
that. Atypical, I watched before quarantine happened.
Okay.
Well, it's definitely, I have a whole list, a growing list of shows that are recommended to me, and I'm like, I don't know, I have the time, but I don't know if I want to sit in front of a TV all the time, especially as the weather's kind of getting nicer. I mean,
Sure, sure.
Saturday was supposed to snow. now it's really windy out there and it's supposed to rain. So we're in a constant different time of.
And next Saturday they're calling for 80 degrees or something like that.
Yeah, I just don't get it. I mean,
Yeah,
I would have loved the 80-degree
that is
weather when
crazy.
we're working baseball games in
Sure, right.
early February, late February.
Unlike the game we had to get postponed with the snow or wind or whatever it
Yes,
was
yeah.
early in the season. Yeah.
New
So.
Jersey City University, I remember
Oh
that.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
What are you looking forward to most when we do get back to that new normal, whenever that is?
um, I think it for me it goes back to being able to better our processes. So I'm very process oriented, and one of the focuses for me coming into the semester was just making some improvements in our equipment room, with organizing and kind of mapping out how we manage that space. So kind of getting back into the nitty gritty there. It's kind of tough to kind of do remotely, because all the equipment is obviously there, and just kind of organizing again, coming out with a inventorying system. That way we can better serve our student athletes, our coaches, and that way that Larry, our equipment manager, can function better in that space, and coming up with some new innovative ways to kind of, you know, just manage the space, to be honest with you. So I think that's what I'm looking forward to most to. And then kind of getting back around my work family. I kind of miss you guys.
Yeah.
So just kind of seeing you guys day to day, and spending time with you and talking to you, and working with you guys. It's just pretty fun. So not that I don't like being home, but
Yeah.
believe me, I can't wait to get back at it for sure.
You have to make sure you throw that in there a little bit.
Yeah. And then the fact that we had an addition to the family yesterday with a new puppy.
Oh,
So yeah, I'm
puppy
excited
is
to get
making a
back
appearance.
to work. Yeah, the pup. Yeah, I don't know where the pup is now. I think they got it upstairs, quarantined in the room somewhere, probably licking them to death and having fun. So
Yeah. So what kind of puppy did you get?
yeah, so we got a Shih Tzu. So yeah, we're proud of that, and she's having fun around the house. And last night was interesting. Our first sleep with the new pup. So she's whining, and I'm like, no, my wife's trying to get to her. I'm like, no, just let her whine. She's just like a baby. If you don't let her whine, and she's just gonna whine every night from here on out. But I loosened up, and then we got her, and we kind of calmed her down and put her back, and she was cool. So I got about 3 hours of sleep last night. But yeah,
Yeah.
fun times.
Yeah. Why not? Get a new puppy, and that's actually a good reason for you to get out and get outside.
Right. Yeah, it was definitely. My wife had the idea to get it for my daughter. To be honest, 6 years old, who she's just kind of running around looking for things to do, and we're like, let's get a dog, let's get a
Yeah.
puppy. This is a perfect trying to train a puppy, and get her acclimated to our lifestyle, and we're home. Like, this is pretty cool. So it's been day one. I'll tell you, around day 14, call me back, and
Yeah. New addition to this week's interview. Tobin, do you want to introduce us to your friend?
yeah. So this is Pepper, guys. We just like I said, Pepper is a new addition to the family. We just got her yesterday, so like I said, I didn't get much sleep last night, but hopefully we have a good night tonight, right? Yeah, I think we will. She said yes. Yeah, my daughter does not want to let her eyes off of her. She's kind of keeping her under her wraps. So this was
That's
a
good though.
yeah, definitely a welcome addition.
Yes, it is. And we have a new addition to the Swarthmore family. We're happy to see Pepper.
Yes.
It's definitely a different time where I miss seeing all you guys too, and miss working all the events, the student athletes, and
hmm
seeing the accomplishments that they make. I mean, seasons were cut short, and it's
Sure.
tough because there were so many great things going, but it just means that when it all rolls back around, it will be better. Um, we'll have more things to look forward to, and we'll get to see each other and celebrate the accomplishments again.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely look forward to kind of being back in what we will the new norm, I guess we would call it.
Mhm.
Because I don't think things will ever go back to what we considered normal before.
Yeah.
But yeah, just being in any interaction in the same space as our student athletes, and some of the highlights like of this year for me, um, when we're talking about our student athletes, was the Malcolm and Jenkins event. Like, I mean, being at things like that to see not only our student athletes perform on the field, but them perform outside of their classroom, but things that they really care deeply about. So that's definitely something I look forward to getting back to.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more with you. And those are the things that Swarthmore students accomplish on and
Mhm.
off the field. And it's not just in the classroom, it's outside the classroom.
For
So
sure, for
always
sure.
great. It's always great to see what a Swarthmore student athlete is up to, and can't wait till there's more.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thank you, Tobin, for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you in the future when we aren't looking at a screen.
I know. This is weird, but yeah. So stay safe, Matt. Definitely great touching base, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Right.
Yeah.